Hello again, folks. I'm not sure if anybody noticed it at the beginning, but we did try to do a live feed and things kind of went wrong. And let's get back on to our discussion. Give me a moment. Oh, come on. Don't you love technology, folks? Don't you love technology? It is great when it works. Everything's going really slow for some reason tonight. I don't know why. Let me get Lawrence in on this. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I do apologise. I've got one person viewing. I'm not sure if it's somebody trying to get connected with us. Right. Come on, sake. Dear no. Really annoying. Okay. Right, so let's see if they actually do come again.
All right, John.
Hey, Sam boy. Hey, man.
All right.
Just waiting on Lawrence.
You know, despite the fact that we were probably on with Carl for probably just over 2 hours, it probably only works out at about 3 gigs worth of usage on internet.
Yeah.
I've got a thing that records internet usage. We'll probably only use about just over 3 gig. Well, from my end anyway, which really isn't a lot. But then this is probably a low band stream anyway. It's not a high band stream, so it's probably why the connection ain't too great. But it's better off that way anyway. You're not going to burn up your internet. So I'd have to literally be on for a full week because I've got like 300 gigabyte download capacity. So I'd literally have to do a whole week at least to do that, and you're going to do 8 hours maximum on here. So either way, you wouldn't be doing it.
I've sent an invite. I'm getting feedback, mate.
I'm not getting any feedback. I'm fine.
Well, I shouldn't be because I've got headphones on. I've got no speakers on at the minute, so I shouldn't be getting that on my end. So weird. So just waiting on Lawrence. If you could just let him know for us on your end as well, because I don't think he's seen it. How am I sounding on your end at the moment?
You sound fine, mate. Visually, it's shit. You're like really, really pixelated. How do I look anyway?
You're a little pixelated, but I don't think
you're pretty badly pixelated. I can hear you fine though. You're just really, really pixelated.
I don't. To be honest, on my end, I look fine, but I suppose it's.
Well, you will do because from my perspective, I'm looking at the live feed of me, which is obviously fine. And from your perspective, you're looking at the live feed of you. But from each other's perspective, I'm technically looking at the after image, in the sense what I'm looking at is at least a few seconds out of the actual image of you.
Yeah. The thing is, mate, I mean, at the moment, I'm only at 3 bars signal strength on my end. So that's probably playing some part of it. I mean, my computer that I'm on at the moment, it isn't. But while we're waiting for Lawrence, how have you been, bud?
Yeah, not bad. I'm all good, mate. All good. Looking forward to my holiday. I've got a week off. I've got a week and a half left at work, and I'm off for a week.
Not bad. I mean, I'm off for. When's that? Is that the end of April?
No, week 23rd of April. Week commenced 23rd of April.
All right, because I'm off. Yeah, right, yeah, 23rd. So that's the Monday, yeah.
Yeah, get paid on Friday. On Saturday, I'm going to go into town, get myself some more trainers. I need some more trainers, and I'm going to go to Capasas. You know that dessert restaurant. I'm going to go there. You still there, mate?
As he's coming. You hearing me?
Yeah, you just froze for a second. I said on Saturday I'm going to get some more shoes.
I think what's happening is if I'm opening a browser up, it seems to be freezing the stream. So I think
interrupt the stream, yeah.
So what we're best doing is just not to. I mean, I can't help it. I'm trying to get in contact with Lawrence, but
I've sent him a message with the link, so it should hopefully be coming in a minute.
If he don't want to come on, if he wants to call it a night, then fine. Doesn't matter.
I'm going to go to that campers place, that dessert restaurant.
Yeah, Casper's.
Yeah, I'm going to go there on Saturday.
Cool.
They do some nice looking stuff.
Well, I'm off as well from not that same weekend, not for Monday anyway. I'm off from 27th of this month on holiday.
Are we still on for Infinity Wars?
Yeah, well, Liz is coming around that weekend, so. She comes down as when we're thinking of going to see it.
Yeah, no worries. No worries, mate.
Basically, she's coming down on the Friday, I think. I'm off from the Friday, and I think I'm off until the Wednesday of the next week. I think I'll have to double check that. But yes, let's see if there's anybody on the live stream, shall we? See if anyone's actually watching.
I need to really buckle down, mate. I need to really get back to reading Past Sins because I want to do a review on it on the Brony channel. But I also want to get back to the writing. I've got so much writing stuff that I want to do and projects that I keep meaning to do. I haven't done any writing now for about a week. I've been dragging my feet.
Yeah, I've not done any today either. Any more to the story that I sent you?
The thing is with me, I've got at least three or four, possibly 4 MLP fan fictions in the works. I've got one which I've got the first 3 chapters I think on FimFiction, but I haven't logged into my FimFiction account in almost 2 years. And I promised myself last year that I'd try and make an effort, and I just didn't. It's the problem is life just takes over. That's the problem, and you just don't find the time to do stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Just sent him an invite via this as well. If it comes to it doesn't want to come on, then fine. Doesn't matter. I mean, it is 1:30 nearly.
It is +1. Well, nearly 25 past. I'm curious, what's this all about? I am looking forward to that, boys. Have you heard about the Walking Dead games coming out later this year?
Is there?
Yeah, it's called Overkill's Walking Dead. It's from what there's no gameplay out yet, but apparently it's going to be very story driven, and it's going to be very good. It isn't going to be like a lot of these games just advertising for the series. It's apparently going to be a really good game. It's not due out until I think sometime in the autumn this year. And they've just been releasing stuff mainly about the characters in it, like little story teasers, like about how the characters are and where they are and stuff like that. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Right, okay. What was that, mate? Sorry, you went all robotic on me.
It's called Overkill's Walking Dead.
Right, okay.
It's a Walking Dead game, but it's going to be very story-driven and character-driven, and they've been releasing teasers that just show off the characters. Not had any gameplay yet, but I think it'll be a few more months we might get to see some.
Okay. Cool. I don't think I haven't played anything of The Walking Dead. I mean, literally, with the whole show and everything, I've got can't be asked of it. Yeah.
Well, the Telltale game series for Walking Dead is brilliant. That's worth playing. There was an official Walking Dead game released about a year ago, but it's utter shit. It's a low budget, straight.
Hello.
Hey, Lawrence is here.
How are you guys? Again.
Not too bad. That's too bad. This time, hopefully, I will not click off this time.
How do you even do that in the first place?
Mice can be very temperamental, can't they? Computer mouse.
Well, they can be, but Well, with me, I had quite a few windows open at once, and I accidentally, while clearing the windows off, I accidentally pressed it off completely, so ending the
Are
live
we on
feed.
your channel now, Sam?
No, I'm on mine. I'm on my vlog channel. I'm on my vlog channel at the moment. Originally, I was going to do it on my TF Nosy one, but I realised that's not a Gmail account and it might have problems finding it.
No, it's still find it. If a YouTube one will connect to anything on Gmail because Google on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but my original the email address for my TF Nosy one is my normal one, which is my karoo.co.uk one.
Yeah, that probably won't work. Yeah, it's email kind of thing. I know what I don't know if you were using YouTube in the early days, Lawrence, back in 2005 when it first started, but I really missed it.
I started using the website in late 2006.
Right, because
that's when I came across it.
Because I mean, I missed the old design. Part of YouTube's charm when it first started was it literally advertised the most recent uploads, and that's part of the problem now. Because like your channel, for example, Lawrence, which is quite new, you won't get a lot of advertising through YouTube unless you put in specific tags. If you go back 10 years, you'd be automatically on the front page because you're a new channel. And the other problem is small-time YouTubers like us are competing with the big dogs, and you can't beat them. I'm not looking to become huge on YouTube.
Well, I mean, I say I'm not either. I'll say I appreciate any subscribers and support I get. But I'm not huge pressure on myself to like gain loads of subscribers at once. I want to do this because I enjoy doing it, and I won't enjoy it if I'm doing it simply for publicity.
Yeah, Lawrence, have you got the login details for mine and John's Brony UK channel yet? Because I mean, if we can send it to you, you're more than welcome to put videos on that channel.
I mean, what John said you said we should start by doing videos where there are all three of us, didn't you?
Yeah, I still don't know how you do that through YouTube. We can do it like this and stream it onto the channel, which should work.
I think that'll be the best way, because I think that's the only way at the moment. Because you can go live on that channel, but it's a different type of live. It's literally via the YouTube app.
Yeah.
But if you go by Google Plus, it automatically connects via the YouTube channel.
You've gone a bit robotic again, John.
So, yeah, sorry, it's
that's all right. I know it can't be helped.
It's not just me as well. I'm getting it on Sam's side. It completely went on his side as well a moment ago.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got the best connection either, but
it's holding up better than mine and Sam's at the moment on my end.
But the thing is, my computer is literally right next to my wireless box.
Right,
so it picks it up as well. So,
well, yeah, I'm in the shed at the end of the garden. I do have a direct connection. Actually, I'm not on wireless. Mine's got a direct hardline connection, but I'm still a good distance away. You know, I get a good connection normally, but the problem is when you're streaming like this, you especially with three people, you're going to stretch. The more you stretch the connection, and the harder it is. So, from our perspective, whenever someone else talks, that person's going to have lag because you're a few seconds behind. So, you know, I mean, three people's probably the limit. If you had more than that, you would really start to have problems.
I think that's what was happening when we was on Cal's channel. I think, I mean, I thought it was an idea the other day or whatever. I noticed that it was a bit too, like, the sound quality wasn't great on my end when I watched it back. So what I'd thought of doing is what you're supposed to do on live streams is put headphones in, hence why I've been wearing headphones all night. I've not been modelling them because they're They look really good on me. I'm just wearing, I'm just wearing them because they're very good.
Even though I have to say, John, they do suit you.
Oh, thanks. But no, I mean, I'm wearing them because they're a good way of stopping any sort of unwanted noise interruptions. It's the good way of.
I don't know where it is actually. I don't know if it might be in here somewhere. Probably in one of the drawers actually, but I don't need it. I'm all right. I can hear you both fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing both of you all right, but for a moment there, I completely missed everything that you said, Sam, about whatever it was you were talking about.
I was basically saying how your face offends me.
Oh, okay.
I just wish that your face would go away. But unfortunately, your father gave you your face, so there's not a lot we can do about that. That's such a mean thing to say. You got your dad's hair there. Or lack of.
Don't take it personally, buddy. Please do not take it personally.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I've had worse. I work in retail, so I've had worse.
Oh,
are you working at the moment, Lawrence?
No, not at the moment. I want to be, but as I was saying, it's in this climate, and with employers being very very strict about who they take on, and finding work I can actually do. I mean, I'm trying. I really want to try the idea of going self-employed, but I don't know what I could do. That I could bring in a full.
Self-employment is. It does depend what you do. I mean, one thing me and John have actually discussed this, and we're still looking into it. But in all honesty, we need the money to put towards it, which we don't have. One thing we're looking at for self-employment is actually going full time on eBay, just selling and buying on eBay full time. But you need money in place to buy a good amount of stock, and that's the problem. And you've got to guarantee that when you sell whatever you sell in bulk, you'll make back at least 50% more than what you paid for. That's the problem.
You can't rely on that, can you?
Yeah.
That's why you could do that maybe for a part-time thing, but you need a job on the side of it.
But by the way, sorry, John, this is going to make you a little bit jealous. Look what I got.
Oh, is it a DVD set?
No, it's the Power Rangers Shattered Grid comic.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got the first one of those comics. But have you seen the Tommy figure? He's like a mix of the White Ranger and Green Ranger in the comic universe.
Yeah, it's I need to actually get the prequel to it, and there's at least other 2 parts to it as well. It's going to want going. I probably won't be able to get the whole set because it's a limited release.
Yeah.
So what I'm actually going to do, I've got 2 copies. I'm going to wait until they're all gone off eBay, and I'm going to shove a copy on eBay and see how much I can get for it.
Do you get that? I got the copy of the first issue, I think, of that comic series. I got it from Forbidden Planet.
No, we don't have Forbidden Planet here, unfortunately.
No, we should do.
Is there one in Hull?
No.
But Hull has one comic book shop, and no offense to the guy, he is self-employed, he is running it by himself, but he is very expensive.
Well, because he's self-employed, obviously he needs to.
I mean, I have bought from there in the past, and I do completely understand that as a self-employed person running a comic book shop by himself, he is going to be a bit expensive to make ends meet. I appreciate that, but the problem is with Hull. Hull has a massive geek community, but there's nothing in Hull to really keep it going. I mean, for example, John, you'll remember this, about 3 years ago, we had a shop open up that just sold Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it did Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and it was full every night of people doing Yu-Gi-Oh games. And
sorry, keep going.
Shut down 3 years later because they just weren't making enough money, and that's the problem in Hull.
A similar thing has actually happened in Leicester. Like we had, like the Gamers Workshop where they do all the card tournaments and stuff. We had a Gamers Workshop which basically just did that, But that one's now been closed down because the second-hand game shop right across the road does the same thing. And yeah, I don't suppose it matters that much, but you know, I feel sorry for the guys that run that business. You know, that ran that business.
Mm.
And also something I found recently is just by where I live in my hometown here. There's a guy who does run a little toy shop, self-employed. I don't know how much, but there is. Yeah, he sells Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some figures. They are all really expensive, obviously, because the guy is self-employed. He sells all the classic sort of toys. Like he's got lots of things like fidget spinners and stuff. I mean, they're not a craze anymore, but
well, a mate of my dad's, he's self-employed. He runs a whitewater shop, basically selling kayaks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he specialises in whitewater sports. My dad's always saying that he makes enough money to keep the shop going and to supply stock, and he makes enough money to give himself a wage, because literally the only other person working there is his wife. It's literally a family-run shop. They make enough money to cover the shop, cover the stock, pay the bills and all that, but he does not make enough money to effectively live off, if that makes sense.
Because you've got to put money into the business, but also have the money to promote yourself and your family.
Exactly. He's making money to keep the shop going, and he's surviving, but all his money is tied into that shop, and as a result of that, he isn't making enough money. Basically, he's always said that when he retires, he will have to sell the shop at all its stock value, because that's the only way he's going to make enough money to retire. So in probably 15, 20 years, he's going to have to sell the whole lot to actually make enough money to retire. And that's the problem. A mate of my dad's who's a plumber, who's self-employed, that's his plan. When he retires, he's going to sell his company, and whatever he gets will go to his retirement.
People of our generation, like young lads like us now, I don't know if we'll ever be able to retire because of the retirement age and, the reductions in wages.
We probably will, but the chances are we'll be retiring in our early 70s if we're lucky. Yeah. And I guarantee you we will have to have some sort of part-time job to keep the money coming in, because the pensions we'll be on will be, I reckon we'll be lucky to get 300 quid a month on a pension with us lot, with our generation. And we'll have to be working probably a part-time job at least 3 or 4 days a week to keep the money coming in. And, that's the sad truth.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, Sam, the way it's going, I personally don't think we're going to have a national pension. I think it's all going to be pretty much everyone's going to have to kind of do it for themselves, like a private pension.
No, you have to, by law, you have to provide a pension, mate. It's law.
No, I know it's law,
but it's legal requirement. Employer's got to provide you one.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not on about that. I'm on about the what do they call it? I'm not. So I forgot what they call it now. There's a word for it, but anyway. But yeah, it's unfortunate times. The whole thing with people living long, that is the problem.
It isn't just that. It's also the fact that house prices are just ridiculous. Rent is ridiculous. Wages is the biggest problem. The problem is there's technically 2 types of wage. There's national minimum, and then there's the living wage. The living wage is something like anywhere between £9 to £10 an hour. National minimum has gone up. It's now about £6.83. Legally, an employer has to pay you the national minimum wage. They don't have to pay you the living wage. The living wage would be, if we were all on the living wage, even on a part-time job, you would be a lot better off financially. Now, the joke about that is that in London, the national minimum wage is actually the same amount as the living wage. And a lot of people in London, if you work it out, a person in London doing my job and doing the same hours I do will be on £200 more than me. But then if you go up to a living wage in London, you'll be going from probably £10 an hour to easily £14 an hour. But then obviously most people that live in London and earn £14 an hour don't live in London because they can't afford to. And it's just an endless cycle.
But as I say, there's like 4 or 5 people in a small flat really for one person. You know, if they've got places they have to even share a bedroom with 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah.
A mate of mine a few years ago, he was living in a bedsit. He was living in a big house that was converted into flats, but it was a communal thing. It was technically a bedsit, and there was a communal kitchen and 2 bathrooms, and that was it. And he was living in an average size room, and he had literally barely anything there. Like all his clothes were kept in bin bags. He slept on a really cheap sofa, and he had very little there. He had a laptop, and that was it. Because he didn't have any of his actual stuff there, because he was more concerned about it being nicked. And he never had any problems with anybody that lived there. But
Not in London.
No, it wasn't in London. It was where I live in Ezel.
Yeah.
But that's
As I say, the same thing is in Leicester. Like there's, it's become a very rough area. I mean, here where I live in Market Harbour, it's a much nicer place to live. But property here has got a lot more expensive, and renting has got more expensive. And plus, because
Lawrence, if you don't mind me asking, mate, do you pay rent on your flat?
Yes, I do. But luckily, at the moment, I'm entitled to housing benefit, which pays it. So,
how much is the rent?
I'm not sure. It's something like 700, 800 or something a month.
Hell, that's like more than my monthly wage.
Yeah, the thing is, you see, because I live on my own, I mean, I'm in a council flat.
Yeah.
And, which makes me lucky. I mean, I'm the only person of my age that lives in this complex. And all the other people that live in the other flats, that are managed by the organisation, they're all middle-aged people.
Man, that must be a bit, I don't know, a bit lonely for you, mate, if you haven't really got anybody there.
The thing is, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm thankful that I can, talk to you guys, because there's very few people here that have the same level of interest in the sort of stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And the very few people that we, would be willing to talk about this kind of stuff, like anime, Transformers, MLP, that kind of thing. They wouldn't be into it. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to live in Leicester, roughly, because the places that you could afford to go wouldn't be very nice. Because it's the same kind of problems probably that you have in your city, kind of thing. There's lots of crime and drug dealing around and stuff, and if you're walking around on the city, you'll see someone fucked out in the face on booze.
Well,
or a drug addict.
As you're saying, Lawrence, one of the problems in Hull at the moment that's becoming a problem. Have you heard about the new drug the street name for it is Spice?
Yes.
The one that basically shuts down your nervous system and you become a zombie for half an hour.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
It's become a massive problem where we live, because it was actually been on the news quite a few times. It's becoming a problem, and literally there are people taking this crap, and like I said, they're like zombies. They can't move. They're technically paralyzed for like anywhere up to an hour sometimes. And
but they're addicted to it, aren't they? So they can't stop.
It's scary because it's like this stuff shuts down your nervous system.
I know. Well, that can kill you.
You're unable to move. Why would you want to take it?
The thing is, when because when their body craves it, they don't realize. They just take it regardless of what the symptom, what the side effects would be. I mean, because I'm very fortunate. I mean, you know, without mentioning names, there are a few people I'm aware of who also live in flats managed by this organisation. Some of them do have issues with drugs, but not ones that I'm living in the same place as. You know, thankfully, I'm in a very good area of my town because I can get to my town centre in 5 minutes by walk.
What I can see on the camera, it looks like a very snazzy flat.
Yeah, you know, if I had a camera, I could carry around. I'd show you, but yeah, it's a very ideal bachelor's flat. You know,
the one I got.
Do you live in a house then, Sam, with your family?
Yeah. I live in a normal house. You know, we have a not a very big telly because my dad's a cheapskate and he, you know, doesn't like to spend.
Well, the thing is, this is why I'm so fortunate, you know, because I've got a really good 4K telly here behind me. I've got my computer and I've got, you know, a really good bedroom. You know, luckily I've got a lot of shelf space, which is literally full now. So I'm just having to make more and more. I mean, recently because of all the stuff that's on Netflix, when I acquired Netflix, I did go and trade in a load of DVDs for some stuff to make more room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm very fortunate to have a place like this. I just hope that, you know, I can keep it.
You are lucky.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Sam, just don't worry about the whole housing situation at the moment. I mean,
it will happen for you. It will.
It will. It'll happen for all of us. I mean, it's hard for first-time buyers and people interested in having moving into their own place. It is difficult. It is difficult at the moment. But what you need to do at the moment, Sam, you are in a predicament where you are, you know, you have a roof over your head, which is the main thing. To night time. Most people are unfortunate and don't have that luxury or privilege.
Shed. My parents kicked me out. I literally live in the shed.
Not you sleep though, is it?
Oh yeah, I sleep in here as well. It's like it's my world. I have these it's like MLP cushion here, and I lie on the floor at night with just this cushion. And I sleep in the shed.
Sam,
you know, it's terrible.
Sam,
yes?
Sam boy.
Yes, John.
Is that a washing machine behind you?
Yes, it's a dryer. It's a tumble dryer.
Why? You...
Oh, so you've got your own tumble dryer. Well, I'll tell you something. If you've got your own tumble dryer, that's one thing I don't have. I have to share a tumble dryer with the other occupants. We all get an appointed laundry day.
Ah.
That's the first time we're noticing you've got a dryer or a washing machine behind you. So practically your little den is doubles up a wash day room as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was my office at one point when I was home working. This is my office.
Yeah. As I said, one of the reasons why I'd really like her to work from home if I could, and partly because of reasons that, you know, certain things might happen. You know, certain people might get quite frustrated with me in a working environment, and that's one of the reasons why I was keen to go self-employed. Because you know, work on a computer, finish my day, and then I can do.
I can throw you a bone if you want, mate. I can get you in contact with a company that do home working. They're exclusively home working.
What do they do?
They're largely customer service based, or it depends on the contract they give you. They're customer service based, but you could be doing anything. You might be doing phone orders. You might be doing customer service by phone.
Yeah, I have to be careful about what I choose to do. I mean, but you know, I definitely would look at it. I mean, I had years of experience talking to people on the phone when I worked in a call center. And that's one thing I was praised for by the manager. Said, "You're really good on the phone. You're really good with customers."
Yeah.
Well, I'll throw a link up.
Yeah.
Feel free to have a look. I mean, I used to work for them, and I can't really fault the company.
Something I think I did mention to you, Sam. You know, when we went on our day out in Birmingham.
Yeah.
The company that right. Well, I will say the name without potentially shaming them. You've heard of the company Remploy that support disabled people at work.
I was temporarily with them.
Oh yeah, I started as a client there looking for work, and I ended up getting my apprenticeship with them at their head office. Right. Their head office is based in Leicester.
Yeah.
And the job went well. I got a trainee advisor role at the end of the apprenticeship. It went well, but then for reasons things changed. Company policies changed, and because they were getting work in from other companies to make more money, and pressure really grew, and they couldn't provide the proper training for people with for a lot of people with disabilities. And of course, everyone, like every person, a disability affects people differently.
Yeah, that's true. I was with Remploy for a while. I'm just going to say it as it is. I mean, no disrespect to them, but when I was with them, they were utterly useless.
No, yeah, the people at the branches, when you go as a client to look for work, they aren't very good.
No, when I went there, I never found out what happened to the guaranteed interview scheme, because I was told, being part of Remploy, they would get me guaranteed interviews.
Yes. They did do that. There were certain chains which they had that agreement with. But that's probably gone now, because
I applied for a job through Remploy, and I was told specifically that it was part of their guaranteed interview scheme, and I would get a guaranteed interview, and I never did. And I also, every time I went there for job applications, all they had were the jobs the job centre had already given me that I had already applied for.
Yeah, they're always advertising, vacancies that they have some partnerships with, like McDonald's, McDonald's, Asda, all those. But a lot of times you would be sat to go and look for vacancies yourself, just like as if you were at the bloody job centre scheme. So I can guarantee if I had not been offered that apprenticeship with them when they set them up, because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for an apprenticeship to gain work experience and a qualification. I can guarantee that if I had not got that apprenticeship, I would have come out that program with my tail between my legs.
Well, one company I can talk about completely openly on here is because basically they don't exist anymore. They went into administration, I think about 10 years ago now. When I left school, I signed up with, they were meant to be a training company / college called Prospect Training. Now, the idea of Prospect Training was you were supposed to be there for at the most 6 months to a year. You would do maths and English with them, NVQ, and you were supposed to get a job at the end of it all. I was with Prospect Training for 2 years, and I did my NVQs, but I never got any job out of it. I never got any job.
Was it level 2 MVQ?
Yeah.
Yes, I've done 2 level 2 MVQ. I've actually done 2 apprenticeship qualifications, one in business admin, one in business admin, and one in customer service.
Yeah, me too. I've done NVQ level 2 maths and English, NVQ level 2 in business administration, NVQ level 2 in crowd control, and I've got an NVQ level 1 in English and maths. But speaking of Prospect Training, the short version is after 2, I eventually left. I left for personal reasons because I was going through a really bad time and I basically left for personal reasons. But one of the people on the course eventually asked the tutors what's happening with getting into work, because he'd been there 6 months at that point, and they just said to him, well, we are in the office you know, we do call employers and we do talk to employers. It's like, yeah, but we're supposed to get a guaranteed job out of this course. I've been here 6 months. And in the end, as I said, I left because I just, to be perfectly honest, I was 17 at the time. I was going through a lot of shit, and I started self-harming, and basically I ended up walking because I felt like I wasn't getting any help, and I wanted help.
That's a feeling I know of. I mean, look, I didn't actually get my first proper paid job on my apprenticeship till I was 22 because I'd studied on and off when I left school.
Yeah.
But then I left school after I finished college, after I finished studying media, and that's when the recession started, mid 2008. And I was out, you know, and I was struggling to get help to apply for jobs, struggling to help get training and experience because, you know, when it got to that point, employers didn't want just qualifications on paper.
Yeah.
They wanted to have experience as well as that.
Yeah,
that's before you start a job as a trainee.
Well, you just said there, Lawrence. That's the problem. I think one of the most annoying experiences I had with a job interview was me. I basically went to this job interview. It was a bit of a distance. It wasn't much of a distance, but I had to get a bus, and then I had to effectively walk about 15-20 minutes further to get to this place. But anyway, I got there early. I got there an hour early because I completely misjudged the bus times. So I just found somewhere secluded and quiet, and I sat there for an hour playing Tetris on my phone. I mean, this was a couple of years ago. And then I went in, you know,
Classic game. Classic.
Yeah, classic game. When I got there, one of the things that I've always hated about job interviews is after you've applied and you've got a job interview, before you can even have the job interview, you'll be given an application form. You have to fill that out, which always annoys me. It's like
they ask you like a few like basic arithmetic questions and your background on work, don't they?
Yeah. I'm just like, hang on, why? You don't need this. If you're offering me an interview, clearly my CV and covering letter are all you need.
You CV on the application, so you know they're being that competitive with people.
Yeah,
they just, you know, it's a reason for them to just narrow you down even further.
That wasn't the worst part of it. The worst part was when I finally got to the interview. I sat down with the manager, and she basically just said to me, "Right, what we're doing is we've got a few people, including yourself, and we've only got enough room for one person to do a work trial, and after that work trial, we'll see who will basically make a decision whether or not we're going to employ them. You'll hear back from us in a week." I was like, hang on, I've come all the way here.
Yeah, couldn't they have just said that over the phone to you?
Exactly. That was some. I literally just stood there. I was sat in the manager's office in silence for maybe 30 seconds. I just thought to myself, so I've come all the way here to be told that we will let you know in a week if we're going to put you on our trial for a permanent job with us. Why didn't you tell me this over the phone? This is a waste of my time.
I had a similar somewhat experience when I went for a job interview a few years ago, where basically the first part of the interview was like a standard interview.
Yeah.
And they were going to do a second part of the interview, which was like a bit like a small work trial where they'd test you at doing bits of the job to see how good you were. But you'd have to pass that first bit of the interview to even get there. And even though they were pleased with me, but I knew that by the end of it, I probably wasn't going to get past that first bit.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
And plus, I remember the interviewer even stepping out of the interview for about 10 minutes to actually go and get himself a glass of water and left me sitting in the interview room by myself.
That's wrong. That's wrong. They shouldn't just do that. You're there.
Well, no, actually, no. He did actually bring me one.
Oh well, I mean, one of the job interviews I had, which really, in fact, it was so bad that there were complaints to the job centre about it. Basically, it was with Argos, and John knows about this one. So I got the interview was I think the interview was meant to start at about 10:30 10, if I remember correctly. So I got there at 9:30. And no, sorry, about 9:45-ish. I got there, and when I got to the store,
He was actually going for a job at Legion of Doom.
and when I got to the store, I realised, well, they haven't actually said where I go, so I couldn't find a staff entrance or a reception. So I went into the front entrance, said, "Yeah, I'm here for a job interview." So they let me into the back, and I was stood in the back in this corridor for 10 minutes with another person who's there for an interview. Finally, a manager showed up and then said, "Oh, you're here for the interviews?" Yeah, we're here for the interviews. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Left us standing there again, maybe another 5 minutes. We finally got took up to basically the staff break room. We were then sat there with about 5 or 6 other people waiting for the interview. We were sat in this room for over an hour. And at one point, one person just said, "I've got to go. I've got another job interview. I can't be sitting here all day." So they came into the room after I was just sat there for an hour and started handing out name tags. They didn't give me one, and I was like, excuse me, I haven't got a name tag. And he said, "Oh, right." And then he said, they looked at a list and said, "What's your name?" I said my name, and he couldn't find me on the list. So I was like, "Okay, is this not good?" And then he said, "Right, hang on, we'll go and have a check." Disappeared, came back 20 minutes later. "Oh, sorry, we had you on the system as John." What? Oh. That's not my name.
It's
what?
Me.
And anyway, so
I'm taking this job away from Sam.
Long story short, we were at this job interview all day. We didn't get out till 4:30 in the afternoon. And the job interview itself took place in a very wet and damp warehouse for some reason.
Hello, it's me.
Oh, hello, John.
Hello. I have a bug man on screen.
Is that a virus warning or?
No. I've got a Beast Wars figure that she's standing on my microphone.
Well, that's to come and see you sometime, Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah, you're more than welcome to. I mean, if you ever wanted to come and stay with me, I probably wouldn't be able to have both of you because I've only got really enough room to have one extra person. But
can stay outside in the rain. It's all right.
I'll say, have you ever been? You say you've been to Leicester to watch a football match before, haven't you, John?
Yes, yeah, I've only been to the Leicester Stadium. Yeah.
You're not seen the city, or I'd say what probably more relevant is for me sometimes to come up to you so I can get, so I could probably get myself in a hotel for a couple of nights.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's plenty of hotels that are not too expensive.
No, I mean when I was in Doncaster for Digicon, I stayed in bed and breakfast, which was actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean that Lizzie, when she comes up, she actually stays for maybe 2 or 3 days in total when she comes up.
Yeah.
So when she comes up, she literally just goes. Well, one time she was at the
school.
Sorry,
where's Lizzie from?
She's from Burton Albion. No, Burton.
Yeah, is that close to London or?
I don't know. I don't know myself. I think I think it's near Manchester. Where?
Oh yeah.
I think it's just a little bit out of Manchester.
Yeah. I was to say, can you guys ever go to Sheffield? Because that's close. Because I could get there actually quite easy because I have a direct train route from here to Sheffield.
Yeah, we do as well.
It doesn't run as frequently as the Leicester or Nottingham trains, but I should be able to get. Yeah.
Yeah, we should do it. I mean, they've got Meadowhall. They've got a lot of different places to check out.
So I've never actually been to the centre before. I stopped at the station on the way back to Doncaster, but that's really all I did. I stopped and had Burger King.
Well, I've been to Sheffield a couple of times, and I've not actually been in the city centre myself. I mean, the only time I've actually been to Sheffield was actually 2 or 3 times actually. One time was to go and see Green Day.
Have you seen Metallica live before, John?
Have I gone off again?
Yeah, we've lost. Well, you could hear you. Anyway,
Have you seen Metallica before live?
No, I haven't seen him live.
I really like. That's one thing I really want to do.
Yeah, I missed the opportunity about 2 or 3 years ago. They went to Download Festival in Donington Park. They went. They were playing live, and I almost bought myself tickets. And I thought, you know what, I might do this year, and I missed the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, Metallica is definitely the band I want to see.
Yeah. But that, the first album I had of theirs was the Master of Puppets. That's a classic album. That is.
Oh yeah.
Master of Puppets and the Black Album.
Oh yeah, they're the 2 best, I think. Have you heard the newer one?
Yeah, the one that this one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Yeah, I really like it because it feels.
Are you into Metallica, Sam?
You there, Sam? No,
oh, wow.
He don't know Metallica at all. That's not Metallica. That's Bon Jovi. That. It looks like Bon Jovi.
It's the broadcast archive for Metallica.
Oh right. Okay.
Basically, all the live radio performances.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got I think I got a vinyl as well, vinyl record of the Black Album.
Yeah. Did you see the film Through the Never, the live concert film?
Yeah, I saw that. Well, to be honest, it wasn't brilliant. I was expecting it to be much more, but I went to see it. I went to see it.
It's a feature-length music video, really.
Well, that's all it is. I mean, I went to. Did me and you go to cinema to see it, Sam?
No, well, I remember watching it at your place on DVD, mate.
Yeah, I must have bought it.
I think it was a very limited run. I think it literally came and went in space for a few weeks. Probably
it was. It was a good film. It was all right. I mean, I just enjoyed it for the music, and I thought.
Lawrence, speaking of anime, there's an anime you need to watch. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's 100% worth getting, and it's one of the best anime ever made, in my opinion.
Elfen Lied or Lead.
Oh, I have heard of it.
It is.
And how much did you get that for?
Well, I've actually got 2 versions of it. I've got the original release version in all its volumes, which is very hard to get hold of, and that is the special edition volume, which is remastered with the OVA that was never released. If you wanted to get that version, that's about 30 quid. If you want,
I'm slowing down on the spending a bit at the moment because last month, March, I bought so much indulgent stuff and was very, very indulgent over the month of March. But I'm still saving for TF Nation. But one I will buy definitely this month is Digimon Tri-Part 4.
Oh yeah, I've already got that pre-order. It's out end of April, isn't it?
It's out in May.
Yeah. I tend to go to CEX and places and like second-hand game shops because they have a lot of anime in them for a good price.
Yeah, they can be.
I've heard recent things about CEX. They're actually selling false stuff to some stores have been selling false.
On YouTube about that.
Yeah.
Like false games that look original but they're fake. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, I saw somebody's video. And they pretty much they bought a DS game, and they opened it up, and it was just like normal paper it's been printed on, not proper.
Yeah.
And then inside, when the cartridge out, it said it's their version of an official artwork. So pretty much it's kind of like they bootlegged someone else's artwork on the DS game, whatever.
Yeah,
But apparently,
the thing is, you bring it to them. CEX could just claim it's a CEX exclusive.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It is a fake. They can do it and get away with it by claiming it. Oh, it's exclusive to us. It isn't. It's fake. But yeah,
it's.
And if you have any copies of like Windows lying around, don't give them to CEX.
No,
because they'll sell your.
I don't have those
codes.
What?
Apparently, people who have given old versions of Windows to CEX actually sell off the activation codes, which basically means that Microsoft will think that basically there's multiple people using your copy of Windows, which is technically not meant to be possible.
No,
this copy
they can get away with it.
Yeah, well, this copy of Windows 7 on my machine's probably been on about 1 billion different computers in its lifetime. There are ways to get past the codings.
Right, guys, let's talk about a topic, shall we? I've got a question for you two. Let's go with Lawrence first.
Yes.
What would you call either your top 5 favorite Transformers characters? Top 5 favorite Transformers characters.
Megatron, Optimus, Soundwave. What was it? Rat Trap and Bumblebee.
Cool. Okay. How about you, Sam?
G1RC, Transformers Prime RC, Cheetor, I've got the name now. Lockdown, and I had to say Wingblade and Chromia.
Cool. What, with those suggestions, what is it that draws you to those characters? I'll start with Lawrence again.
Well, I say with Megatron, I like it because he's, just a good villain. He's got a good personality. He's got good motivations. He has a reason.
Yeah. Which version of Megatron's your favorite out of all of them that you've seen?
Definitely the G1, but I've got really got the Beast Wars version as well.
Cool. Yeah.
I think the absolute worst portrayal of him is in the Michael Bay films.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like Megatron from the 2007 movie. I think that's more G1 accurate as Bay could get. But then, as the movies went on, he kind of like lost his mojo, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so So what about the other suggestions there, Lawrence? What?
Optimus Prime, because I like Optimus Prime because of the development of his character. How he comes back. I mean, after that really heart-wrenching scene in the 1986 movie when he dies.
Yeah. We all blame Hot Rod for that.
I like the fact that when Prime comes back near the end of G1 and like basically saves everybody, I like the fact that Galvatron actually like respects him for that. He actually shakes his hand and actually like respects him for what he does.
Yeah.
Because it's that. Because I remember, because in that episode, like near the end, one of the Decepticons, says to Galvatron, "We should strike now," and all that, and he basically says, "No, today we are all, one. We are all." We are all Cybertronians today. It's a really good episode.
Mm.
Okay, no, let's see. And for Rat Trap, I just like him simply because he's a good side character.
Yeah, it's
a good side.
character.
And Bumblebee, I like him just because both in his vehicle form and in his robot form. He's a funny kind of.
Yeah. Which Bumblebee version is your favourite?
One, definitely.
Yeah, he is the best. Dan Gill.
Soundwave. I like him because he's one of the bad guys. You know, I like him as a good sidekick.
Okay, cool. How about you, Sam?
Yeah.
I'd have to say, well, Transformers Prime I see largely because I see she's a very complex, in-depth character. She is she is the result of war. She is a PTSD sufferer who has seen so much awful stuff. She's seen friends be killed, her world be ravaged. I suppose
destroyed in the first episode.
When she's introduced, she's very much a loner. She's part of Team Prime, but she's also suffering in silence. And it's through the connection with the human characters, Jack, Miko, Raph, that she really opens up as a character. In fact, her character out of the three Guardian characters, I would say she has the most development. It feels like she has the most to lose as well.
Hmm.
I mean, I've always liked Beast Wars Cheetor because I always just find him as the funny character. He's like the kid who's just wants to have a good time and have a laugh, and he doesn't really take anything seriously. And then when he eventually becomes Transmetal and starts changing, he becomes more of a warrior, and he starts to really take things seriously.
Cool.
And John, why is your favourite character Wheelie? What do you like about Wheelie?
G1 Wheelie, he's awesome. He has a catapult.
No, I'm not talking about G1 Wheelie. I'm talking about Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie. The best character ever.
He's kind of like a 1930s gangster voice. It's going to be awesome, isn't it?
Do you think GoBots is the greatest series ever?
Oh yeah, Psykill's better than Megatron. So yeah, let me go through my favourites. Trying to think. I love Soundwave, G1 Soundwave. I also love Optimus Primal as well. Because Optimus Primal's Beast Wars is practically my childhood, so Optimus Primal, Soundwave, G1 Soundwave. I love Starscream. Absolutely love Starscream, and I like the movie Lockdown as well.
Yeah, I do.
Because the reason why I like Lockdown so much is practically because he's literally in the live action films. In the live action films, it's I feel Lockdown is like an actual villain. You actually just feel like an actual villain for once.
Yeah, he was probably the only true villain in the live action films.
I mean, you actually physically and literally see him kill a human being, and the other ones never did that. I mean, he killed that guy in a really, really horrible fashion, you know. But you got to love Soundwave because it's the logical choice. And Starscream, I just love Chris Latta. I think Chris Latta's Starscream is amazing. And he's an idiot, but he's awesome character.
Oh, is that classic scene in G1 where he basically tries to kill Megatron and it all goes wrong, and Megatron's got him with his gun to his head and he just says Starscream. Something like you're either a traitor or an idiot? Which is it? And he goes, I'm an idiot, an idiot. He goes, yes, Starscream, you are an idiot. Something like that.
Where?
Yeah. Okay.
Where is the cube? The humans have taken it.
Right.
You
I'm
fail me
going
yet
to
again.
get going, lads.
Pardon?
All right, man.
I'm going to get heading off.
Okay, well, it's good to speak to you.
Aye, it always is. And, well, that's a... Well, probably do more of these. What we need to do... probably maybe, I don't know, in a few days, a week, whenever we can. We need to do a proper MLP discussion.
Yeah, well, we should do that in Bronies UK.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what we're best doing is, right, all of us together, right? I think what we're best doing is, you, Lawrence, out the 4 seasons you've currently watched, or the episodes you've currently watched, should I say,
Yeah.
what we should all do is pick the same episode what we've already watched that we really regard as a really good one, and we each watch it on our own time.
Yeah.
And then when we do a live reaction talking about that episode, and just kind of start it off that way. And then as you
make a suggestion that's a favourite of both mine and Sam's.
Okay.
How about Lunar Eclipsed?
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Well, why not? I mean, you know, if you want to review Lunar Eclipse, do that. I mean, we're talking about as it progresses, the Bronies UK channel progresses. We're thinking of kind of like talking about past episodes, not all seasons, just certain past episodes from other past seasons. So I think doing that, talking about that, would maybe be a good start to doing that.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
As well, so thank you everyone for watching, if you've watched, and thank you for everyone, for Lawrence and Sam for joining me.
Thanks to you.
And we will be back very soon, hopefully with more of these live feeds. And I just want to apologise for anyone that has been viewing us on YouTube for the bad connection problems. If there's been any on the actual live side on YouTube. But anyway, that can't be helped. Streaming is a bitch.
Now, for your viewing pleasure at the end of this, I will undress for you all.
And bye-bye for now, guys. Bye-bye.
No, I must undress. Don't spare the people by amazing nudity.
Okay, you're all awesome, everyone. See you around.
I think we've mentally scarred Lawrence.
You have a good night.
Bye.
See you later, mate.